Hello there. This is Horgan Boxing, and yeah, just want to talk on Eddie Hearn and what I think about Eddie Hearn and how I think he's in danger of being dumped by DAZN when they get their stable of fighters together. Eddie Hearn is for me, I think he is kind of been the saviour of boxing in many ways. What he did in the UK was, it was groundbreaking. The stadium fights. AJ, it started with Froch, Wembley Stadium fight, and he basically was a promoter extraordinaire. He put British boxing on the map, and I feel that he's now putting world boxing on the map. But I think he, judging by what's happening now with Deontay Wilder, with Ludabella going direct to Mike Skipper, who's the CEO of DAZN, instead of going through Hearn, and the Golovkin deal and the Canelo deal, they've all been done without Eddie Hearn. I'm getting the impression more and more that DAZN probably see Hearn as a bit of a liability. They see him as a bit of albeit very talented. What they'll be looking for him, Hearn, to bring the UK support in and bring all that kind of vibe that he's brought from the UK to America. And unfortunately, what's happening is Hearn is taking his eyes completely off the UK scene, and this is allowing Frank Warren to come in and just, to basically soak up the market and to begin to dominate the market in the UK. It's no secret that Hearn is becoming more and more overstretched as a promoter, and it's affecting the amount of time he can give to the UK shows. And I don't know, but it seems like the cycle at the moment, if there is such a thing as a market cycle, that Hearn thinks that the next big cycle is in America, and it's going to be on these kind of streaming websites or apps such as DAZN, ESPN, and instead of pay-per-view, which is the old model, and that's the model that Sky Sports use. Again, it's no secret that Adam Smith and the Sky Sports team are really kind of sick and tired of Eddie Hearn probably putting his face all over social media under the zone barrier, the zone banner. More and more you see Hearn is kind of putting all of his cards into the zone side of things, and Sky Sports are being left behind. And I'm not sure whether or not that's because Sky Sports is kind of yesterday's papers in some ways. That the pay-per-view model, even though in the UK a pay-per-view fight is what, £20. And that's why we do such good numbers for pay-per-views. But more and more you can see that this kind of, people want their content a bit like Netflix. They want to stream it, they want it on demand, and they don't want to pay through the nose for it. And obviously clever men than me have done the maths, and they know that they can put this huge amount of money in DAZN. I think the guy who is the main kind of guy behind it is worth 20 billion. I mean, they're looking at like a 10-year plan ahead of signing up and locking down the best fighters on earth. And yeah, I guess getting back to my original point, I kind of fear a little bit for Hearn, because I do like him. I know he's a bit of an unpopular, and he's a divisive character here in the UK, but I kind of like him, and I think although you can't rest on your laurels in this game, I don't think he's been given that. We haven't kind of been able to stop and really appreciate what he's done for the sport, and what he's especially done for British boxing. Now I know we've had we're lucky because AJ is our sort of flag bearer, and without AJ, I don't think any of this could have happened. So it was a combination of AJ and Eddie Hearn. Uh, Allowing the sport to peak so hugely in the UK, and obviously when American businessmen and promoters in America, and these streaming sites were looking at the money that they could make, that Hearn was making in the UK. They obviously thought, well, can we make that kind of money in America? Can we make more? And probably they can make more because there's a bigger market there. Now, so I hope Hearn stays with DAZN, because I think he is like the Lionel Messi of promotion, of the promotional game. But I feel at some level that there's going to be a clash at some point in the future, especially as a lot of these fighters are electing to bypass. They're just bypassing Hearn altogether and going direct to DAZN to kind of thrash out whatever deal they want. I don't know if Hearn gets any kind of commission, whether or not that's the whole thing, whether he's just happy serving the company and getting all these fighters on board and co-promoting these big events. Maybe he's a clever guy. Maybe he's got sort of something in the back of his mind. At the moment, it just seems like every boxer is they're trying to outdo each other, go behind each other's back. You can see that with Wilder. You can see that with what Tyson Fury did, the big ESPN deal. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting time anyway for boxing. I'm not sure if I like the amount of money that's going through, but I mean, it's just like football. You can imagine that at the top level, it's in the entertainment game. These footballers make a lot of money, and maybe it's time for boxers to make that kind of money too. I mean, they do put their lives on the line for our entertainment, and if you've got any sort of, I know by me saying that Eddie Hearn is like a top class promoter, and I'm kind of like giving him thumbs up, and I don't want to see him kind of get chucked by the wayside in a year or two by DAZN. But if you do have any sort of comments or responses, you can stick them in the comments and responses below, and let's see what happens. Anyway, take care. Horgan Boxing.